We're live. All right. Welcome back to another edition of Haunting Experiences with myself, Carla, from Amethyst Ascension. My sister has some health issues, so she's going to be watching and probably commenting. So, our special guest today is Anna Sarah. Now, I'm going to kind of give everybody a little background on how we met.
Yep.
So, hello. I'm able to put those little comments up there so that way you can see. We met in a Facebook group, and it was, I believe it was the Star Seeds, wasn't it? Or was it like Star Seed Originals or something like that? But
yeah.
So, and kind of what Rachele and I have been doing, getting these spiritual experiences and or paranormal, because a lot of people that are experiencing these kind of things are the people we want to talk to. You know, like myself, I never had a channel. I never did, just back my sister up on this. there's Rachele. Hi, sissy.
Hey.
So anyway, that's why we're doing this. Anna Sarah does not have a channel yet. Whether she decides to have one or not, she has a lot of stories to tell. So, I remember I was sharing a dream and you said something. I don't even remember if you were sharing a dream, but you said, "Oh my gosh, I'd love to hear more." And I said, "Well, let's chat." And she was right on it.
Yeah.
And so then we started talking on Messenger, and I was blown away. I can't believe all the things that you were telling me. That, I mean, it's amazing. Do you let me give you a heads up. I got a grandson that's running around, and he might get noisy every now and again. He's almost 3. So, Anna Sarah.
Yes, my dear.
Tell me your first memory. Your first memory of something either spiritual or paranormal.
I think I was about it's probably around 8 or 9 years old. And there's 2 different things that happened. One, I was living with my mother at the time. My parents were already divorced. And we were watching, I don't know, Days of Our Lives or something like that. And I was playing around. And my mother was making lunch. And as a kid, you go in, with your imagination, you're very open to everything. And I just happened to stare at the window and I saw these, what looked like 5 Hershey kisses, stuck in the sky. It looked like someone put stickers in the sky. And they were silver and shiny and they were not moving. If you saw something hovering like a helicopter, you can see it kind of going up and down a bit. These were perfectly still. And I just knew UFOs. I was like, I just knew it. And I was like, oh, mom, come here, look, there's UFOs. And she's like, oh, please, no, there's not. I'm like, no, come, you gotta look. So I dragged my mom and I put her to the window and go, look, right there, look. And she looks, and I've never seen my mom look so scared. She just, no, it's not. No, not. It's just a balloon. She's like this. And I just gave her this look. I'm like, Mom, that is not a balloon. It's not even moving. And then she goes away, and I kept bugging her to come back. So it's been about 5 minutes, and they haven't budged. And I went to go grab her again to look, and then they were gone within seconds. I went outside to try to like look, like go like this, like gone, like vanished. So that was pretty cool. And they were pretty close to my house. It wasn't like a little far away. It was very close.
Wow.
So that was exciting. And another one, I think it was about 9 or 10.
Well, before you go into that, do you think maybe like maybe you lost any time during that, or are you pretty sure that that's all that happened?
I'm pretty sure that's all that happened. Like, the reason why they were there, I don't know, or why I was able to see it with my mom, which is really bizarre because she's iffy about all this stuff. But like, I've always knew there was always something else out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What exactly, I don't know, but I always knew there was other creatures, there was other beings. Like, I already knew before I even watched or read anything. So
it didn't really scare you. You were excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I was like, but my mom, on the other hand, she was the opposite. So
yeah. Which is amazing.
Yeah. So the other one, I can't remember if I told you this before or not. My older sister, she's 3 years older than me. And we were watching TV. My father is in the backyard mowing the lawn, and all I heard was him yelling for us. We thought something bad happened, so we just like, oh my gosh, what happened? And we're running outside, and my dad's standing outside just staring at the sky, and he's like, look, girls, look. And we all look, and I've never seen this in my life, never again. And it was just like, when I see, just bring it up makes me want to cry because it's so amazing. Like, whew. It's hard to put into words. It was an angel, but not just like any angel. It's not like when you go outside and you see a cloud that looks like an angel. This was as if someone had a gold tip pen and drew detailed eyes, eyelashes, cheekbones, lips, the curls. Like, it was like a detailed, drew picture in the sky, and it was gold, and it was so big, and this angel was just smiling down, and we're all just like, we couldn't even say anything. We were such in awe. We were just standing there, and my dad looked so shocked, and I'm like, I told my dad, I go, is this real? He's like, I don't know. And we were just standing there. I'm like, it was amazing. I don't know how else to describe it. It was that very detailed. And it lasted like a few minutes, and then I went back in the house, and I went back outside, and it was gone.
Wow. You know, that definitely sounds like what maybe in biblical times they would have called an angel. You know, I mean, so I mean, because if you think about that time, how you know, how would you describe something like that? I mean, glowing. I mean, what do you think it was?
I believe there's angels out there. So I do believe it was an angel. Which one? I have no idea. But just seeing it was like everything that was going on in that second just stopped, and all I felt was just love, comfort, like safe, like unconditional love I was getting just from looking at that.
And you were 10?
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
Wow.
9 or 10.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like, man, I wish I need to start drawing. I used to be a good drawer, so I need to start drawing again because, oh, if I could draw what I saw, that was, oh, I wish I had a camera. Even then, it probably wouldn't even look the same.
Right.
But yeah, it was.
So who all seen it? Your dad and your sister?
Yeah, my dad and my older sister. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how old is your older sister? How much
she's
older?
3 years older than me. So
okay.
So she's probably 12 at the time.
And now, if you ask her about it now, what would she remember?
She remembers like it was yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Wow. Something that, well, there's no words for it because it was so amazing. Like that's not even a good word to describe it.
Wow.
And it sucks that I haven't saw it again because, oh, if anyone saw that, they would be in shock. Like, not scary shock, but like just, whoa, you know? So, it was, yeah.
So you told me also that you have a guide. You've talked to your guide. Your daughter has a guide. So tell me about it.
I have a native Indian spirit guide that's with me since day one till day I pass on. Because you have some spirit guides that are with you from born to death, and then you have other spirit guides that come in for certain life lessons, and then they go, right? So, but she's always with me, and sometimes I could hear her, but when she starts talking to me, then I try to think what she's going to say, and then that blocks the communication, and then I get frustrated, and then I stop. So I have a bad habit of doing that, and I'm trying really hard still not to think what they're going to say. I don't know why I do that, but I guess it's like I just try to guess what they're saying, but it's hard to just let go and just let them talk. So that's what I still have to work on, but every once in a while she'll send me gold sparkles just to know that she's around. So
okay. That makes sense with some of the other things you've told me.
And I didn't know that until I was at about I think it was grade 9 or grade 10, because my father's wife, my stepmother, she's the one who helped me learn about this stuff. And because I couldn't communicate with her or get in touch with anything, she was able to do it for me and then tell me. But she couldn't keep doing it. She only did it like maybe once or twice, and then I had to learn for myself. So that's how I knew why I was seeing these gold sparkles. So she helped me a lot. So that was good.
So now you told me also that I mean, you've seen what you thought might have been a ghost or maybe somebody on a different timeline. Was he was chopping wood or something like that?
Oh yeah. This is I was in grade 9, so I was about 15, and at the time we lived in a bungalow house, and our backyard we had about 2 or 3 acres, and behind that was an old farm. And every night, I always see the farm light in the distance, but never paid attention to it until one night, my cat, she was acting very strange. She would run to my bedroom window and like meowed really weird and just staring in the window. And then she would run to the other bedroom and she'll do the same thing. And she kept doing that for like 10, 15 minutes until I was like, this is so annoying. I'm like, what the hell are you looking at? What's wrong with you? And so when she came to my room again, I got on my knees and I went to her eye level, and then I turned to the window to see what she would be looking at. And I'm like, okay, I don't see anything. I see the light. And I'm staring at the light for a few more seconds, and then all of a sudden, it formed into an old man. just picking up his axe and grabbing wood and chopping. And I'm just like, holy crap. Okay. I was like, Annette, I go, come here. You gotta see this. And I didn't even tell her what I saw. I said, just go and stare at the farmlight there. Just tell me what you see for a few seconds. So she goes and she's staring and she's like, oh crap, yeah, there's an old man chopping wood there. I'm like, okay, so I'm not the only one. I'm like, okay, this is for real. And my cat just kept on doing that. But I was watching him, I'm just in awe. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. But I'm seeing a ghost or spirit like moving, doing stuff, not just like a face or someone just flew by or whatever. You're actually seeing him doing something. And I think for about half an hour, I was just watching. And then I would get ready for bed and I'll come back and I'll be watching. And all of a sudden he stopped working and he looked right at me. And I got scared for a second because I wasn't prepared for that. And he was coming towards our house and I freaked out. And the moment I freaked out, he went back to chopping wood and he never came to our house again. But he stayed there. And I like telepathically, I was saying, I'm so sorry that I freaked out. Like, you have to understand, I wasn't prepared. I'm not used to this, but I'm here to communicate. But he never came, but he allowed me to see him every night after that for months and months. And during that time, I saw a younger man, and then I saw a child who looked about 6 years old. So I don't know what happened there, and I'm not really good at researching stuff online, but something obviously happened over there because it seemed like the whole family of like grandfather, father, and son. That was the feeling that I got.
Yeah. Jezebel Fontex says, what a polite spirit. And yeah, definitely. Because I mean, now when you're telling me this, I'm hearing like your stepmom is the one that started to teach you about like communication, or that it's okay. So you didn't really have a bad experience with the paranormal. So it's almost like you knew what to do when you seen things like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I always knew I was different, right? But I just wasn't, some of my experiences, I wasn't sure if it was just in my head or,
right.
Do I need glasses or something wrong?
Everybody wonders that.
Right. But there was also a big part of me saying like, no, like this is real, like you are seeing something. But I guess when you're younger, right, you're kind of battling what's real, what's not, because I was a very creative child, very imaginative. So, and it's kind of hard to tell these stories when part of your family is like, that's crazy, you're nonsense, you're wacko. And the other part is like, oh, we're really open to it. We don't understand it, but we're open to it. You can tell us. So I learned as I got older to not share certain things with some family members.
Yes.
And then, yeah.
Yep. I understand that. She also says, or the same man in different stages of life.
Could be.
Maybe he was just showing you. There's all sorts of possibilities with that.
Yeah.
But the fact that he knew.
But I saw them at the same time, all three at the same time. And they were all like helping each other. So, but it's, before I share other stuff, I had a friend in Midland. This was when I was in my early 20s. And he's also into this spiritual stuff. So we clicked right away. We had a good friendship, close one right away. And I told him about this man, this ghost farmer, right? And I didn't tell him what he did or what he looked like or anything. And I told him, like, let's go drive down at night and see what you can pick up.
I remember you telling me this.
Yeah. I didn't finish telling you the whole story, though.
Ooh, it's a surprise.
This is going to sound so bizarre, but I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
So we got in the car, we drove there, and I'm like, okay, so let's just sit here, just look at the white light there, and then tell me what you see. And his exact word, he's like, oh yeah, some old man chopping wood over there. He's just going back and forth, grabbing wood. I'm like, yes, okay. Anything else you see? Because that's all I saw, right? Was sometimes it's just the old man that I've seen, and sometimes it's the old man and the younger man.
Right.
And he goes, no, but I see a guy standing by the shed staring at us. I'm like, I was like, where? He goes, the shed right there. I'm like, yeah, I see the shed, but I don't see any man. So it's strange. I was able to see the old man chopping wood, but I couldn't see the man that was by the shed, but he did. And then we were, I can't remember what we were talking about something, and we were both looking up at the sky. We saw this orange light, and this orange light was like, it was here, and then like 2 came out of it, and then it went back, and then 5 went out of it, and then went back, and then 1 dropped, and it was just doing random different stuff. And we just looked at each other like, okay. I go, what do you think that is? It's like, what do you think that is? Like, I think it's UFO. I like, I don't know what else it could be. He goes, yeah, I totally believe that. And then he said he was starting to see other things in the ditch. And he was starting to get freaked out because it was just so much for him all at once. I'm like, what are you saying? He's like, you know what? Let's just get out of here first, and then I'll explain later. I'm like, okay. So we drove back home, and he goes, you know what? Because I'm not sure why you didn't see what I saw, but try to meditate on it tonight, and then see if you can see it in your dreams. And then I'll come back tomorrow, and then I'll tell you if it's the same thing. Because he said he was going to write it down, what he saw. So next day, this is so crazy. He wrote everything down, and I said, okay, I dreamt that I saw like these gnomes, dwarves or gnomes. I wasn't sure which type. But they were like silvery black skin and like long, dirty, spiky hair, and they had like silver armor on, and they were running back and forth with like spears, practicing fighting, and they had like yellowy eyes. So when I was describing this to him, he goes, okay, stop. And they had armor shaped like this. I'm like, yeah. He goes, and they had yellow eyes. I'm like, yeah. And I go, and they were running around back and forth, and he said spears. We both said it at the same time. Spears? We're like, oh my gosh. So I dreamt the exact same thing, what you saw last night in person. So that was just insane.
So where was this?
This was behind my father's house at the time. We had like a dead end street behind our house, and there was a ditch there, and then beyond that was the farmhouse, right? So it was just so, it was funny, weird, and amazing all at once.
Yeah.
Because like, you don't usually see these things. You see them in movies or you see them in books, but with your physical eye or in your dream state, and you're sharing the same experience, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if maybe your friend and you don't have a past life connection. For one, you're connected somehow. And then the other is, like my sister was saying, the house was like maybe on a ley line or next to a ley line or even a portal area to where, you know, um, you guys are experiencing different vibrations, you know, not, it doesn't mean good or bad. It just means he was seeing something you weren't, because you have to focus. It's not like it's just, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you seen something, you were focused on that. I mean, I can't explain it, you know, because I don't know. I wasn't there, but my sister wanted to know, how long ago was it when you did this with that man?
I think I was about 24, 25 years old. So long time ago. I'm turning 41.
Well, I
So
was just going to say, was that like 2 years ago, maybe?
yeah, no. Gosh, it sounds so weird saying 41. I'm still not used to that.
You're a baby.
I know.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, so like 15 years ago, or roughly around there. Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
That's an amazing story. A very amazing story. Wow.
yeah.
So do you talk to that man still? Your friend?
No, we lost touch years ago. I don't even know. I don't remember his last name. So it kind of sucks
Oh,
because he was a cool guy. He was.
sounds like it, if he was able to see that kind of stuff
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah. And he also saw my past lives in his coffee, which we had a family psychic years ago, and she said the same thing. So, which was mostly in Egypt, many different lives in Egypt, and another life in like 17th, 18th century time. And supposedly I was going on a quest, but it wasn't meant for me, but I went anyway, and I either was beheaded or I got hung, and that's why I can't wear anything tight or turtlenecks around my neck, because it feels so uncomfortable. It feels like someone's strangling me all the time, and I can't have it. It's so weird.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, speaking with gnomes, again, I think I was about 10 or 11 this time, and I was very sick. And I bugged my dad, can I sleep with you? He's like, no, you're too old. You sleep in your own bed. And I bugged him and bugged him. And so I went into his bed, and I think like not even 5 minutes later, my eyes were opened, and I haven't fallen asleep yet. So I wasn't like daydreaming or dreaming at all. I was wide awake. And I see this white, bluish colored gnome with a floppy hat. Kind of reminds me of the Seven Dwarfs. And it just walks in the room, just normal, and then it disappeared. I'm like, checking if my dad's still asleep. I'm like, did I just see a gnome? I'm like, what the hell? And I told my dad the very next day, I'm like, Dad, I'm pretty sure I saw a gnome last night just walked into our room. And he just looked at me. He's like, what? I'm like, I know it sounds really weird and stupid, but I did. And I don't know why. See, these things, like, it's fascinating and I'm thankful to see it, but I don't know why I'm able to see it just for a few seconds. Like, why? What was the purpose of seeing it just for a few seconds? That's what I don't understand.
I think you do understand. That's just my opinion.
I don't know.
You just, sometimes you don't like to voice it out loud, maybe because you think, I mean, it's just my opinion. I
Mm-hmm.
know there's things that I think, and I think, wow, where did that come from? But I think that it's, a lot of people are conditioned to not be honest about things and not be forthright about their opinions because they're afraid that other people are going to say they're
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But you are
Right.
safe here, Anna Sarah. You are safe.
Oh,
Yes. And I
cat's out of the bag now.
believe that pineal gland is very open not
Yeah.
calcified at
And
all.
you know what's funny when you said that? It's funny that you said that because whenever I go to those psychic fairs, I try to go and get what's it called? Oh, I can never pronounce it right. Kremlin photography. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but
I think
am I
I know.
saying it right? Probably not.
I don't know, but I know
It's
something about what you're doing.
it's those pictures that you can see your aura. It's a special camera
My
that
sister and I
picks up your
talked about
auras.
doing. I know what you're
So
talking
I got that done, and I had blue and purple all around me.
about. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. Does
And
anybody remember what the blue and purple is? I think Rachele has had purple. That's very spiritual.
purple is for the third eye. And
Oh, okay.
blue,
See, you know.
yeah, blue is your throat chakra. That's the communication. So both of those were really like big. And he goes, "Wow, you got a lot of purple around you. You could be a medium. You could be clairvoyance or whatever." I'm like, huh. I go, "Yeah, I can see and hear stuff." He goes, "Oh, well, that would be a good career," he says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have done Reiki or however you
Yeah.
pronounce that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it, you know, I think you ought to have a channel.
Maybe. Oh my God.
You know,
I don't
because
know. We'll
you're pretty
see.
informative and just stuff that you experience yourself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just you could put a video out there once a month. You know, and just
Mm-hmm.
see how it goes. Share that stuff. Or especially like a blog, maybe.
Oh yeah, I
Because
could.
you
Yeah.
still experience stuff like that, don't you?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's funny. I'm sure other people witness this and they don't think anything of it. So listen up, people. This is really cool. If you ever like sit on a couch, bed, blanket, and you see it like move down beside you as if someone is sitting beside you, I believe that's either your guardian angel or a past loved one to visit. It could be anyone, but that happens a lot, like a lot of the time. I don't even know how often, but sometimes when I was younger, it freaked me out at first. So I kind of like shoo it like with my foot. But as I got older, I just got used to it and I wasn't freaked out by it. And I just learned now to say, "Oh, hello. Thanks for stopping by. Don't know who you are, but thank you." So I either say it out loud or mentally. And I remember one time a boyfriend many years ago, we were sleeping and I felt a hand just do this. And I thought it was him, so I just turned my head and he was asleep on the other side, like rolled over to the other side. I'm like, "Oh, what? Whose hand was just on me then?" I'm like, it's a little weird. And I would have like a little baby butt imprint. I could feel someone sitting beside me. And sometimes my daughter, when she was little, she would come into my room, just climb into my bed and sleep. So I thought it was her. And I remember thinking, "Oh man, she came into my bed again." So I turned and nobody's there. So I carefully, slowly went to turn on my light, not to try to disturb what was beside me. I turned on the light and I looked, and it was like a little baby butt imprint with the legs. Like so small, way smaller than my daughter. It was like a baby, like that size. So that was really cool. Yeah.
That's interesting. I've seen gnomes before, but they're levitating usually,
Ooh.
and they have bright red hair.
Ah,
So my
cool.
sister wants to know what shade of blue in your aura.
Oh, What shade? I'm not sure. I don't remember.
She asks, does the aura resemble a shade somewhere between deep blue and deep purple? Because a blue aura, shades of indigo, may indicate a personality that tends toward deeper, more intuitive feelings. I think she found a website for it. So,
I remember
was it
it was
dark?
like a royal blue, and it went to a lighter blue, and then dark purple to light purple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And then then she says about the third eye chakra, which is what you were talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. I got a bunch of more stories, so just let me know. I'm just trying to see. Oh yeah, speaking of auras, when I was little, I've always seen auras on random stuff. Like it would be on a tree, or it would be on a car, or on a person, a pet. And I just didn't think anything of it. Like I've seen it since I was little until I think it was grade 7. I was near the back of the class and I had to write stuff down from the board, and I couldn't because my teacher's white aura was big and I couldn't see the words on there. I'm like,
wow.
I can't freaking see, damn it. I'm like, what is wrong with my eyes? I'm like, Dad, I think I need glasses. And eventually I did need glasses, but not until like grade 10. But it was really funny, and that's when one of my dad's girlfriend at the time, she was into auras, so she's the one who helped me out to learn about auras. And then my stepmother, she helped me learn about different beings and meditations and stuff. So thank goodness I had them in my life at the time, because my dad had no clue. He's like, I wish I can help you, but I don't know any of this stuff. But yeah, and one of my stepmother's friend, he was talking to me about the auras, and there's different exercises you can do. You can get a white blank sheet of paper and a small pink paper, and just put it on top, and just kind of just zone out when you stare at something. Your eyes are kind of like unfocused. And if you just pay attention to the outline of the pink paper, then you'll see a different color. You'll see the aura from that. And then once you do that, you can change a different color on top of the white paper and keep changing. And once you've done that, then you can get one of your friends, make them sit by a white wall, and just do the same thing. Focus just outside of their head, like right here, and just kind of zone out and just be patient. It's not going to come right away. Sometimes it will, but that's a good exercise to keep learning to see the auras.
Thank you, because I'm going to be doing that at work tomorrow.
Yeah.
I bet I got a lot of black and red. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My sister says she believes that you're straddling between 2 or more densities, which is kind of what we were talking about earlier. Before we went live, was that you're experiencing 4D like it's nothing. Like, hey. Coming over for dinner? Yeah, okay.
Actually, another exercise for anyone to practice as well, to see not just auras but energy sparks. You can see almost like a energy spark coming out of a battery or something, is to just do this with your hands for a couple of seconds, and then just put your hand in a ball like this, and just focus the space in between.
Okay.
And sometimes you'll see, like, how do I describe? Kind of like a wavy length of some sort. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but
I know what
What
you're
I
talking
can
about.
see like a white spark, but
Mhm.
I saw a gold spark. And it took
Ooh.
me 10 minutes to learn that. And again, I was younger, so I guess I was more, I don't know, more in tune with it. It's harder
Yeah.
as you get older, but
Yes. Oh my goodness.
um,
Yes.
just really cool. And to think of a beach ball and just bounce it, and you can feel your own energy. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's really cool. Just bounce it, and you can feel it's like a magnet. And then you can say grow bigger, and all of a sudden your hands will just go by itself, as if someone's moving it for you. And then you can say stop, and your hands will stop. And then it goes smaller, and then your hands will go smaller, and you can say stop, and you can just bounce, and you can feel it's like an energy ball. It's really fun. I did it a lot. It's really
Oh
cool. I
boy.
taught my daughter that too.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to teach my grandbabies that.
Yeah. It's really fun. It is.
After I
It's
learn it, of course.
cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And speaking of ET, I did tell you this story before. Uh, there was again, this was around when I was like between 10 and 12. Um, middle of the night, I couldn't sleep because I heard people talking, and I thought it was my dad and one of his friends. But then I realized, like, oh, that doesn't sound like his voice. So I got up to look, but my dad is asleep. His door's open. My sister's asleep. Her door's open. So I walked around the house to figure out what the noise was, and I couldn't hear anything. So I'm like, okay, maybe I was just daydreaming about it or whatever. So I went back to bed, and seconds later, I heard these two voices again. And that's when I was
Mhm.
like, what the hell? And I sat up and I'm just listening. And then I realized it wasn't a human language. And then I'm like, what the hell is that? I was like, oh my God. And I was just sitting there. And it was more like, it was kind of like radio static. It was like,
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I could hear two different voices doing that, talking back and forth. And it freaked me out. So I just got up and I closed my door and I ran to bed. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that was, but that was weird. And I went to try to go to sleep. As soon as I closed my eyes, I heard the voices again at the end of my bed. I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's some aliens in my room. I can't see them, but I can definitely hear them loud and clear. And I'm sure they were talking about me. I don't know why or what they were saying exactly, but I finally got the nerve to get up and turn on my light and turn on my radio just to turn it up a little bit just so I can not quite hear them because I can't. It was like 3 or 4 in the morning. I don't know. And I could still hear them. So I just sat up in my bed, freaking out, just praying, please, God, if they're negative energy or if they're bad or evil, please get rid of them. But if they're not, they can stay. Just give me a sign. Nothing. They just kept on talking for hours and hours.
Wow.
No
Yeah,
idea.
we picked up something like that on one of the lives that we had done with my daughter, and
Oh,
you can hear it on the playback. And it's
oh
like
wow.
that. It's like whatever
Yeah,
it's like they're like having trouble coming through a radio or something.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I believe they're just, they're interdimensional. It's just sometimes they're coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh,
That's
that's crazy.
it's real life. it's
Man.
stuff happens. Um,
Yeah.
Abby said her husband and her hear voices in their house to the point where they get up and check because they're scared it's robbers.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
What
but
kind of
they're
voices
actually
do they
hearing
hear?
voices. Yeah. What kind of voices, Abby? Hmm. Um, And Jezebel says, have you gotten writing from them too? Like any type of writing? Or have you ever tried automatic writing?
I have tried automatic writing, and it's the same thing when I hear messages come through. I start fine, and then after like a couple of words, I automatically try to think what they're saying, and it blocks it right away.
Yes,
It's very frustrating. I really wish I need to stop doing that, but I am able to do that. Also, I can receive many different strange things if I just go outside and just stare at the sky, or like the ceiling or the wall. If it's blank, and if I stare at it long enough, some pictures come up. It's like watching a movie, and I can see like one time at my father's house, I remember we were eating, and I'm just chilling, and I'm just like staring at the ceiling, and then I'm like, Annette, do you see this? And she's like, what? I go, can you just stare at the ceiling for a few seconds? And then she does, and she wasn't able to see it, just me. And I was watching this live movie, and I have this down in my folder in my storage unit, so I couldn't get it because it's probably somewhere in the back. But it was like I saw 3 or 4 looked like fairies, and they had a baby, and they were protecting it from this creature. And then I saw this throne, and then it was just random stuff, but it was going so fast. I'm pretty sure I didn't grab everything I saw on paper, but it was just a lot. And
wow.
but she wasn't able to see it, which was strange because she's more experienced and more in tune at the time. So I don't know why I saw it, for what reason. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's just the thing with I can receive symbols, numbers, designs, people from different realms or times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
And I
what
told you,
Jezebel was asking. She said it was because she would get notes, and still some days she finds notes laying around written in the language of a full other language when she was 14. That's amazing.
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that'd be so amazing.
Well, you're getting a lot of, obviously, communication, and whether they're trying to communicate with you or not, it's just the fact that you're able. It's like you're just eavesdropping right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's yeah. Oh.
Dang, Anna, Sarah, she's eavesdropping again. Yeah, that's wow. I try really hard, and I don't even get stuff like that. A lot of stuff happened when we were kids. So I get what you're saying. You know, you get older and it's not as easy. I'll bet though, if you found a way to find a quiet spot where you could silence the world and meditate, there would be a powerful session.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. I should try that again. I haven't done it in a while.
It's hard with the way when you got so much going on. You have a daughter.
I know, that's what I was saying. Like I'm trying to find a place to move, and everywhere is so expensive, and it's harder for me to meditate and to be more balanced when I'm in a crappy town that I don't like, and there's so much unnecessary distractions. Like I need to be out living in the woods. Probably, I'd like to go to BC. So if anybody can help me out, get me to BC, that would be amazing. please. My daughter is like, I don't want to go to different schools, but if we can get a house with a forest in it, Mom, I'll be fine because I need a nature. That's what she said to me. And my daughter's 12 and a half.
Wow.
So she needs to have it. She knows Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like that. That's kind of where I'm at, where we got woods around us, and it's nice. You can't see the neighbors. So that's good. I know the FBI lives next door to me anyway, or CSI, or not CSI, CIA. So.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know. I'm being funny. At least I'm trying to be funny.
Speaking about the third eye, I remember in my early teens, I was very frustrated, like talking to my stepmother. I'm like, how do you know if it's just your imagination? Like, if you're not seeing it with your physical eye, how do you know if it's you're imagining it or you're really seeing it? Like, I had a huge problem with that when I was a young teenager, even to my early 20s. And every once in a while, I second guess too. And that's also, I know, part of the reason why I'm not able to see more, because sometimes I do second guess. It's a habit. It's part of the ego, I guess. I don't know. But I remember one day, I think it was a year and a half ago. Yeah, about that, at work. And I was just thinking about all this stuff, and I'm just like, screw it. Okay, whatever. Third eye, whether I see it, I'm just going to say, yes, it's there. And as soon as I said that, oh my God, as soon as I said that, one of my coworkers walked right by me, and I saw two, again, in my third eye, right away, like that fast. I saw two baby cherubs on his shoulder. And like one was just like slouching, one was like this, and the other one was just like this. And it was just on his two shoulders. So every time when I saw him, I look at him and I'm trying not to laugh because I see them. I go, why? I knew that was real, because why would I make that up? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then I look at my other friend, and he had this amazing greenish yellow, huge butterfly behind his neck. And every time when he walked, I would see it like flap. I'm like, what? And my head boss, he had this giant, I want to say wizard, but I don't think it is. He just looks like a big warrior wizard. He was like 10 feet tall. This guy was massive, long white hair. And I saw a little boy. His name was Andrew. He was like waving at me. I'm like, okay, am I really seeing this? I go, yes, I am. Don't second guess. Let it go. Yep. I'm just having this mental conversation with myself. And the boy pops out of nowhere again, waving. And I'm telepathically, I'm like, hi. He goes, hi, I'm Andrew. I'm like, nice to meet you. Trying to have this conversation while I'm trying to work at the same time. And he was saying, I have other people here that want to meet you, but not everybody wants to meet you yet. I'm like, okay. I go, well, I'm open to meeting anybody. And then I saw this woman, brunette. She was wearing a dress like Mary Poppins in the original Mary Poppins, that white hat with a scarf. And she was there. And then I saw some very strange, I don't even know what it is. It wasn't human, but I just saw a whole bunch of stuff just walking through there, and I'm like, and I couldn't help but just let out a big laugh, and guys were like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing at all. I'm fine. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is a lot. Wow. And Yeah, and for like months I saw Andrew and that lady, but
Wow.
only my third eye. And then I was getting not angry, but I was getting a little bit annoyed that I was only seeing it in my third eye because I wanted to experience with my physical eye as well,
Of
right?
course. Of course.
But I guess
We have to ascend for that, probably. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't really tell you, but
I mean, I
maybe.
think it's easy to see in your third eye if you're open. If you're open to it, it will come. But in order to see it with your physical eye, I think you have to be on that vibrational level.
Yes.
I think,
Yes.
and because my mind was more focused on work and, our world,
So my
that's why I
sister
think,
says she gets like an elven feeling from you. And I thought that from the very beginning.
yeah,
So
yeah.
she was wondering if you like dreams or astral travel, like inner earth.
A
What
lot
do you
of
think?
fairy dreams, a lot.
Mm, yeah.
Yep. That's when I told you about that meditation I had in Costa Rica. Um, my two friends and I, we had that meditation. We timed it for an hour and I wrote everything down. And as I'm telling my meditation, my friend is finishing the next sentence for me because she was in the meditation with me. She
Wow.
goes, "Yeah, you had this crown with like branches and a crystal," and I'm like, "Yeah." And I had a white dress, and she goes, "Yeah," and it crisscrossed in the front. I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Holy shit, you were in the same meditation as me." I'm like, "I was right there. I was the one who was giving the crown to you." I'm like, "Oh my god." So yeah, that was really so crazy. I just got goosebumps again. Um, yeah, eh, I'm sure I had a past life in that realm. I must have
Hmm.
because I've always been very drawn to fairies and mermaids. Always.
Dolores Cannon said in her book, Between Death and Life, that we are all fairies or like a what she call them, a fourth level being, which would be the fairies and the
Hmm.
gnomes and stuff like that before we're
Yeah.
human.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
yeah,
Hmm.
very. I don't know whether I believe it in that order or not, but
Yeah.
we can
My
be, we could have been anything like that.
yeah. My daughter definitely was a mermaid because she talks about them so often, and she says, "I know I was. I just know." She's like
Yep.
this. I'm like, okay, cool.
Mine
And
too.
when I went to that psychic fair, went she goes, she actually asked me, which psychic do I go to? How do I know which one's really real? Because there is a lot of fakes out there.
Yes.
And I go, honestly, don't think too much about it. Just look at each one and just whatever you feel. You have to pay attention to what you feel from the heart, from your heart. So she walked around, she took her time. She didn't rush, took her time. And there was two people that she was drawn to. One, she was a psychic for past lives, and another one, she was just a reception, like she was just a helper. She wasn't even a psychic, but she was drawn to her for some reason.
Wow.
And so she went to the psychic for past lives, and she said that she was part fish and part human. But it's funny, the psychic wouldn't say mermaid. She wouldn't. She just said part fish, part human. That's all she kept on saying. And I'm like, well, isn't that a mermaid? Like, but
Well,
I'm not sure if she believed in that. I think because she wasn't really 100% set on the word mermaid, so that's why she was just leaving it out there.
maybe those entities don't call themselves mermaids. you know,
True. Very
like
true.
we're called other names,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we don't identify with. I mean,
yeah,
I
that's
have
true.
him anyway. I don't identify with that, please. Thank you. So anyway, Anna Sarah,
Yeah.
we don't want to go too much over an hour, so we are
Okay.
definitely going to have to do an Anna Sarah part 2.
Sounds
So
good.
I hope you are good with that.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Yeah. Very good. So, I was trying to keep up with chat, and I'm so glad that my sister was in there doing that. There, Jezebel, we definitely would love to have you. I would definitely like to hear her story too. So, and that's what this is about. So, anybody contact Amethyst Ascension and get a hold of us and let us know. We want to hear your stories.
Yes.
And well, let the world tune in and find out that we're not crazy, right?
Yeah.
No, that's right. You just have one heck of an active third eye. It's just amazing. I would love to walk in your shoes just one time just to see what you see sometimes.
Just go into my body in my dream state.
You know what? We're gonna learn to do that. We're gonna have to work on that where we can dream walk together.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Sounds good.
We'll all go to the forest. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for showing up today. I really appreciate it. And join us next time. I love you guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Don't go nowhere.
Okay.